Alright, this is a brand new Glock 43 9mm. Just picked it up and we're gonna show you what's in the box. Worthless trigger lock, a youth safety notice, the usual bureaucratic stuff, fired case, and this is the manual and stuff like that. It comes with cleaning rod and brush and one 6-round flush fit magazine and a mag loader, which is kind of worthless in my opinion, and a 6-round mag, might be 7, I have to try, and that has a finger extension, and it's empty. The trigger is pretty terrible on this example, but let's measure it just for fun. So I'm guessing it's going to be about 8 pounds or worse, but let's try. 8 pounds, 8.5 ounces. Let's try again. 8 pounds, 1 ounce. £8 pounds, 1 ounce. So between 8 and 8.5 pounds. So my prediction was pretty accurate. It's feels sluggish. It's typical Glock, but it's worse than the other Glocks that we have. The brake is pretty clean, but it feels mushy and it stacks a little bit, and then you hit the wall. And the brake's actually pretty clean. Hopefully the take up, it feels kind of sluggish. You can kind of see that trigger. It's almost like it takes a little time to press back out, like the spring is running through. See how it's kind of, it doesn't extend all the way back out. It takes a little second for it to go all the way back out. Anyway, hopefully that cleans up a little bit. Let's get a little bit of, it's got the Glock, the copper anti-seize or whatever it's called. Make sure the barrel is clean, and it is. It's free from obstruction. Dual recoil spring system. And I'm just going to put a drop of oil on it. It's already got some oil on it from the factory. On the barrel locking block or whatever it's called. Just going to put a drop of oil on these rails, even though they've got a little bit of anti-seize on them. I'm sure some of you are screaming at me, don't do that. And I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the pivot point and on this striker block. Maybe that'll kind of smooth it up a little bit. But let's feels better on the waist, but a little bit better. Let's do it. Let's shoot it. For any interested, the mini Uplula does not work with these mags. That's the mini one that's for 32s and 380s. Alright. Try the extended magazine first, and it does only hold 6 rounds. Hold center on that torso. Now this trigger is terrible. Well, it works. This is Winchester white box 115 grain. And it seems to be hitting about point of aim. It's hitting a little bit left, but that's probably me jerking the trigger. See if I can hit those little guys. Well, it does jump a bit. You'd notice it's going off, but it's not uncomfortable. It's not as sharp like a blowback operated 380 is. And it seems to be relatively accurate so far. The trigger, it's really it's not the reset, but it's basically as you let it out all the way, it just feels sluggish and spongy and gross. Hopefully that'll clean up. Maybe we'll do a 25-cent trigger job on this. Let's try some more. So for me, it's hitting a little bit low, and I'm probably still jerking a little bit low left, but on my other Glocks, I can hold, basically the point of impact is the top of the front sight, and with this one, I'm having to cover the point of impact that I want with the dot, so kind of like a SIG combat hold, and it's still hitting a little bit lower than that, but let's try some different loads. All right, these are some 124 ball. The regular Upula does work. Just have to get your hand out of the way. Let's try to hold center on like those. That's my reload. I'm not blaming that on the gun. That's my. About the same spot. Cover the plate with these guys. Yeah, it's hitting right. Those 124s are basically hitting right where I put the dot. Anyway, it's fun. We'll do some comparisons with some other guns now. All right, we're going to do a quick and non-scientific recoil comparison between the Glock 43 and the Kahr PM9. This is the Glock 43 first. What do you think?
It's hard to tell. I think the Kahr kicks just a little bit less. I have to shoot a little more.
All right, let me try. This is going to be the Glock 43 first with the extended magazine. And this is going to be the Kahr with its extended magazine just for fun. This one, to me, jumps around more. It feels like it bucks a little bit more. Maybe we'll do them with the regular flat mags now, just for fun. Show you way in. All right, here we go. Okay, this is the Glock with the flush fit mag. This is the Kahr with the flush fit mag. They're very similar, very similar. when you can't get your pinky on that, I think that may have been the difference between the other two. They're very, very close. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference unless I shot a bunch more. So let's shoot a bunch more. This is the Kahr first with the big mag. Now the Kahr with the little mag. Now the Glock with the finger extended magazine. Now the Glock with the flat mag.
It's definitely a little easier with the extended magazine on the Glock. It's hard to tell much of a difference stability-wise with the two different magazines for the Kahr. Both feel pretty comfortable.
All right.
That's just me.
Let's try a Glock 27 40 caliber, and then we'll try the baby Glock, the super baby fetal zygote Glock, the Zyglock, if you will. So this is the Glock 27 40 caliber with Winchester white box. Now the Glock 43 with both with extended finger rest magazines to try to make it semi comparable.
Well, I don't know how much of it is 9 versus 40, but it's easier to manage the Glock 43 for sure.
Cool. Let me try. This is the Glock 27 with an extended finger magazine. This is the Glock 43 with its extended magazine. Yeah, the 27 kicks more. It's not that much more, but it's definitely, it jumps more than this guy, which is interesting to know because you'd think maybe since this is lighter and smaller that it would sort of overcome the caliber difference, but no, it's definitely more pleasant to shoot. LCP 380 shooting ball ammo versus the Glock 43. Like a jam. Let me try one more magazine. I think I have mixed ammo in that one. Those are actually pretty similar. It's hard to say. I think it would probably be really subjective for the shooter. The LCP almost feels like it jumps a little bit more, but that's because there's less to hold on to, I think. You can get 2 good fingers on the Glock, whereas you can pretty much get 1 on the LCP. And it's a lot lighter. But, you know, the 9's more powerful. So I think it probably depends on the ammo and the shooter, but they're pretty comparable. They're both not, for me, they're not unpleasant to shoot, either one of them. So let's see what you think. It's the LCP again. Good. That's with an extended magazine on that one. This is with the extended magazine on the Glock 43.
Actually surprisingly similar,
Yeah.
but I like, I feel like the Glock has a crisper, more crisp trigger.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I like.
Yeah, the LCP has that kind of weird revolver trigger. This is the 27 again. We're going to compare it to a 23 just for fun.
Yep, there's a reason that these are easier to shoot.
You definitely tell the difference.
Especially with this right here.
Oh, with the grips. Yeah, oh yeah.
Just having this that much more control helps a lot.
More space to hold on to.
But
Cool. So between the 23 and the 43, they're about the same, or is the smaller gun jump around more, or does the 40
yeah,
caliber jump around more?
this actually feels more like a 40 caliber than the 23 does.
So you think that the 43 has more felt recoil than the 23?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. Let me try. So this is the 23 40 caliber. This is the 43 9mm. I'd say they're very similar, but I still think this recoils less for me overall than the 40 caliber. But neither one is unpleasant, and I'm starting to like that. There's more to hold on to than the LCP for sure, and that's a good gun. Kahr again, here we go. And Glock. I can remember what that felt like. I think you might be right. I think that Kahr actually recoils a little bit less. They're very similar, but I think maybe the Kahr, at least with the flush fit magazines, feels like it maybe jumps a little bit less. I don't know. They're really similar. 19 versus the 43. I suspect the 43 will be. It's my reload. For you. Doesn't like the reloads though, does it?
I like them both. This is a little easier, get your hand around. It doesn't feel like it's too small, actually.
Huh. And is recoil more or?
Felt pretty similar, actually.
Huh. Cool. So this is the Glock 27 on the right, which is the baby Glock, the previous baby Glock. And that's the Glock 43 on the left. So it's actually almost the same length. It's thinner, it's much thinner. You can see that the 43 is much thinner than the 27, and the grips are shaped differently. And they're actually, I think maybe the 43 is a slightly longer grip. I mean, maybe like a quarter, an eighth of an inch, if you include this little back piece. But that's what the the 27 has an extended magazine in right now, or the finger grip mag. But they're about the same length and height. They're just, the Glock 43 is much thinner, and it makes a big difference on how much you can get your hand on the gun. The 27 feels like a kind of like a 2x4 that's been sawed off. So this is the Glock 43 and the Kahr PM9. The Kahr is significantly smaller. It's about the same thickness or width. In fact, if you count the slide stop on the Kahr, it might be a little bit wider. But it's a little bit shorter in length and height than the Glock. I mean, it's significantly shorter in length. It's got maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or something. But the width, the height is actually almost the same, but the Glock is longer or taller. But the Kahr is remarkably small for a little 9, and it doesn't kick that much more, if any. It actually might kick a little bit less depending on who's shooting it. But that Glock looks to be a winner. They could have made it smaller, and I think they probably erred on the side of shootability. And it is fun to shoot, and you do have enough handle to hold on to so that it's not unpleasant. So they did the right thing there. And the trigger isn't, I said it was crappy, but when you're shooting it, you don't really notice it. And it may be smoothing out after a couple hundred rounds. So good job, Glock.